In 2026, the top creators aren't working harder. They're treating their ideas like a content module engine. And using tools like Claude is going to allow you to streamline this entire process and stop this big thing that's happening to most people is burnout. You can see here 52 to 62% of people suffer with burnout from work, and this is 100% true. I've suffered with this myself, and everything was tied back to content. And the biggest problem here is not from the lack of ideas, it's just suffering from creative fatigue. You're sick and tired of trying to create something fresh every single time you need to post. This is exactly what we're going to fix in this. As you can see here, one recording days or weeks of content. This is 100% true depending on what you do, what your business is. Now for me, this one recording goes and gets me 3 days of content. You can see over here on the left, one video a day, posting 4x on different socials. So this one video is going to be repurposed for me, and I'm going to keep my socials going for the next maybe 2 to 3 days in total, and allowing for 4 posts a day. Now some people will obviously question, is the content worth it? Is it not? Now look, it's up to what people see. What is it the person says is subjective opinion. Basically that's what it is. Everyone will have a different view on what's good and what's not good, and that's the key thing. However, the one thing we can make sure we can do and is measurable is consistently posting every single day, and posting either a certain amount of posts or just being persistent. So you can see here at the moment I have over my TikTok account, you can see one of these carousels that I made 21,000 views. Now again, this just popped. I don't know why it popped. It just popped. It's not any different than most of my other content. And that's the key thing to remember in this. If it's a case you're posting maybe once a day, something like that, it's a steady pace. You can see here, one deeper recording posting allows you to pretty much keep your socials going for maybe 2 weeks. And that's assuming that you're posting just say once a day. And again, it's a brilliant way to actually stop that burnout and focus 100% on working for your business. The shift then here is stop trading time for posts. And as I said, I've fell into this pattern myself in my early days before I really used 100% of using AI. Is I woke up in the morning trying to get an idea. You scroll on social media, you scroll on any platform at all trying to get ideas. You end up getting a basic idea and you post it. Lo and behold, you've done your post and it feels like you've been working non-stop to get that one post out. Now again, this whole process and this method changes this. And on, I suppose, here with the discussion about the burnout, you can see here the treadmill. It never stops. Get up, record, edit, post, and you pretty much do the same thing the next day, hence the treadmill. Blank page, you're starting from zero every single day. Again, makes it harder, and go quiet and then you vanish. And this is a big problem, because what's happening is you probably post for maybe 2-3 weeks, and then it slowly just dries up and you stop posting. And then pretty much what has actually happened is you've fallen into this category. You've hit burnout, you've stopped posting, and that's it. Creative fatigue has kicked in. Now, I have a complete solution to this, and I'm going to show it exactly. As part of the membership here for my community, you have a 7-day challenge. This is going to allow you to build your own AI employee. This is going to help you massively in producing and repurposing your content. And this is exactly how I have mine set up. For you, you can set it up in Claude Cowork. Again, super easy to set up, and you don't need to be any tech wizard to do it. Anyone can do it, no coding experience needed. So along with that, then the constant presence illusion here. So the industry sells one big lie that posting every day means filming every day. It's not. Now, obviously for me it is, because I film for YouTube every single day. That's my purpose. I want to try and get more content on YouTube. But for you, you don't need to. So you could run this AI employee. You could record one piece of content on your camera, and from there you're going to have a massive amount of content ready to go. The big lie here is always have you on camera. High volume is sold as a filming problem. Show up daily, film daily, never stop. It's exhausting, and it does not scale. It's simple and straightforward. It won't, because what's going to happen is you're going to come back to that exact same problem of hitting burnout. More is the only answer. So again, some people, what happens in a business especially is they're posting maybe once a day and they're struggling to keep on top of it, but their answer to it is, let's create more content. This is going to really get me more views. Yes, it will. Creating more content will get you more views. It's the same as the fishing analogy. If you're fishing in the river, you have one rod out in the river and you might catch one. If you have two, you might catch two. If you have three, you might catch three. You have more chance with more content out there, and I think that's the key thing. Now, obviously, if your core piece of content you initially started is not good, then the rest of the things downstream of it are not going to be great. So just remember that. Film it, post it once, forget it, and again, the footage dies. Now, what I really I suppose, like with this method, is it allows you to build up a digital presence. And I've said this so many times in my videos that a digital presence is vitally important in terms of marketing, because what's happening is when people start searching for your content, your material, your information, you have a wider footprint of everything all over the place. It let it come, could be TikTok, could be Facebook, it could be YouTube, things like that will start to populate. AI understands and Google search understands what you do, what you talk about, and it will naturally start to push your material and push yourself out there much more. So again, don't worry about getting your content out there. It's just getting some sort of process to it. Moving on to this, footage is not a post, it is a data. So key thing here is remembering and understanding what's working. So without data and numbers, you can't really refine what's working and what's not working. So if you post once a day, or if you don't post at all, you're never going to figure out what is my audience like, what do they dislike, is there certain topics that I need to cover. And I think this is why it's key to potentially post more content every single day, because you're going to get more numbers back and to see. And the case in point here, like for me, I'm just assuming that on YouTube, what happened over the last couple of days is this platform, Blotato and Higgsfield, were a lot of talk about it. And I would imagine this logo popped up somewhere in someone's feed, and that was it, just started the entire cycle of it. So again, it just shows you that a piece of content can still have life in it much later down the road. So the old way was create and dump. One recording becomes one video, post it and watch it fade. So again, case in point is you might sit down, make a reel, you post it, you get your maybe 100 views, 200 views, and you walk away with it. Then what happens? You have to do the exact same tomorrow. You do the same thing, you get another 200 views. What was happening there was just taking way too long to do that one piece of content for 200 views, and that's it. The new way is pretty much one record once and deconstruct, then not forever, but deconstruct the video down into more. So for you, you might be sitting there, I don't have a YouTube channel. Again, it's not a problem. Record yourself having a discussion with a colleague, have a discussion with a client. If you're doing that, have some sort of discussion, but record yourself talking. That's the key, because that's going to be the gold information that you need to push everything forward. So one deep dive session becomes a persistent modular library. Again, if you talked about something for an hour with someone, this is just a gold mine of information. The same insight gets rebuilt into platform-specific assets, and it's simple and straightforward. So with our AI employee, I suppose, if you definitely jump in here and grab this on the 7-day free trial, you can build out your own AI employee. So you can see here, I've already used them today, and it was very simple. Here, up here, and you can see exactly what I've asked for today's video. I gave it a bit of information about it. I told it this is the key information. I need your YouTube guide for the following, please. I gave it information at the title of the video, and then again just broke down some of the info I want to cover. And from there, I just made a few minor changes throughout it, the ways I wasn't happy with it, and it pretty much built this entire presentation, I suppose, for me. Again, I think these are just massively beneficial to what you actually do in a business, because especially for content creation, because it keeps you on point, keeps you focused to where you're going with it, and just showcases everything. And again, that's an AI employee for me working. This is him doing his job. I was gathering the information, copying and pasting it, dumping it in there, and telling him to go along and put it all together for me. That makes sense. And then it's a slight bit of refine it. It took me probably, 10 minutes to actually put together this I suppose, presentation for this video. And before, it used to take me probably 45 minutes to an hour, and at that I would only have notes on a piece of paper and on a slide or something like that. So it was absolutely rubbish, and I find this way 100 times better. A single deep dive session is enough to fuel to build authority for a whole quarter, not one post, a full quarter. Now, this is obviously depending on what you post. It depends what I said at the beginning. If you're only posting once a day, if you were to create maybe an hour long, 2 hour long kind of deep dive on a topic, yes, this could be enough to generate probably 100 pieces of content very quickly from, because every piece of content can come with different angles, different ideas, different personas in mind, and this is the key thing. So to quickly show you kind of, I suppose, my system, you've probably seen some of these already before, but again, it doesn't have to be rocket science. So if we jump over here, in here I have the 7-day challenge. So you pretty much as part of this will get access to the plugin. So this plugin is going to give you access to all these, and pretty much what I'm showing you here is, if we open it up again. So on day 4, you'll have access to this. It goes through everything in each day, basically getting you set up for it. There's a few bits of, I suppose, PDFs that you kind of need to fill out. Yeah, might see them in some of them there. So on day 3, for example, we have a content planning. So again, this is just key information to kind of, this brings the marketing into it. So with this plugin, you can install it either in Claude Codex in the terminal like this, the way I have it. I just personally like using it like this. Or you can install it in Claude Cowork. And again, if you're new to Claude, you're new to AI, this is probably the way you're going to go. So when you download and install this Claude on the desktop and you download the plugin like the guide tells you, you'll get access to all these different things. So you get branded presentations built similar to what I have the video on. You have B-roll, overlay, agents. So all these are skills that will do in individual tasks for you. Content strategy, the content repurposing. So this is going to break up all your content. You have find skills. You have some other different agents that do different tasks. Image brief, infographic brief, main carousel, news carousels. Again, all these kind of follow my standardization that I've made out. They may have some color themes in this, like from my own, say the Electrica Indigo over here, but again, you can easily just get to change that once it's done. Real ideas, we have social captions, standard carousel, video editing, YouTube guide. Pretty much YouTube guide is what we're doing here at the moment, and that's a YouTube guide. So everything is there for you. All you have to do once you have it installed is record that piece of content. Once you have that starting piece of content, it be an article that you've written, a video you recorded, or if you have a YouTube channel and you have already hundreds of different videos already made, you're sitting on a gold mine of stuff. You could probably have enough content to keep you going for the next year, realistically. And that's pretty much not having to do a massive amount of work. So record one long form piece of content. You pretty much come along then, and once you're inside the chat, then you open up this, you go to plugins, marketing OS, and from here then you can just say to CRF factory, the new input video, and that's it. This is going to run the entire process. Once you have that done, then you're going to have an output of all your information and materials. Now, it is very simple and straightforward. AI builds the visual assets. Again, if you have different connectors added to this, it will build it. If you don't, it'll give you prompts. The prompts, then you can just use AI to create. If it's a case you still use Canva, then you can easily set this up to, once it gets to that stage, it'll go to Canva, and the agents basically will go to Canva, make the things that you need, and you can edit them a little bit if you obviously, of course, and that's it. The same footage then feeds SEO articles. So again, my YouTube videos get converted, every single one of them gets converted into an article for my website. Just a different way of getting information out there. This brings us on to the final section, the content waterfall. Now, this is why we do this, and this stops the problem. So you imagine here this big number, 150 pieces of content produced per week. Now, when I produce this, when I say 150 pieces of content, this doesn't mean, this includes repurposing. So this includes a reel that I make, goes on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. It goes everywhere. So it's cross-posting, right? But the big difference here is I could post on Instagram, happy Friday, Instagram followers, hope everyone has a great day, here's a video. The same video can go to TikTok, and it could be happy Friday, everyone on TikTok. All the captions are unique to each individual platform. Why? Because certain platforms rank for search. So Instagram is a big one now that's being pushed for search. So if you put search terms into your actual captions, has a better chance. So I tend to try and start a lot of my captions in Instagram with common search terms. How to repurpose content for my small business is a search term. It goes into my captions. Then what happens when people search for that, there is a chance that my short or my reel comes up. What'll happen then is if someone clicks and watches that, they could come along, watch my long form piece of content. They like that, they turn around, they're like, okay, I really like this. Boom, they're joining the community. Again, massive opportunity there to kind of touch points with different potential customers by doing this method. So as I said, roughly six active platforms: LinkedIn, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. YouTube is shorts and long form. As I said, 20,000 views on my most recent recent-ish carousel. Overall, I'm getting around 120,000, 150,000 views on all my content every single roughly 30 days. The community is growing at the moment up to 30 or 20 different people in it now. Again, started from 0 up to 20. Everything is going the right way. A little bit slower, of course, but that's just the way it is. But that's it. It's not, like as I say, have here, this is the real fix for the core problem of content creation. I see so many people, this is what they struggle with. And pretty much it's not a problem anymore. Once you build this out, this is not going to become a problem for you anymore. It is going to streamline everything. So look, if you're interested in learning more, let me know in the comments. If you want to ask any questions about it, reach out to me on socials. I can explain if you need it. But again, as I said, it's a 7-day, whereas a 7-day free trial. First 50 members obviously are locked in for $23 a month. That'll never change for you. Once I hit 50, I'll be upping it to probably 49 or 40 something dollars a month. So definitely now is the time to get into it, and I'll cover everything about AI, focusing on this, but again, focusing on it for a business owner. If you're running your business, then this is the place where you need to be.